So, hello, beauties. I'm recording this to help everyone with a little bit of tapping through the holidays. Um, and I want to do some live calls in December, and we'll see if there's some interest in that. And if there is, I may continue, maybe do one a month or something. But right now, I want to share a few things with you. I was just reading an email from Colette Baron Reed. You may know that I've studied with her. I'm still in her Oracle circle. But I wanted to share some of the thoughts that she's had um, right now at this time of year. And then also just lean right into some tapping then. I've asked some people to tell me what they're struggling with, and we'll see how I can create a tapping, I think, for you. But this is, off the cuff. I just want to share some thoughts. So um, she's talking about the holidays approaching and stepping into this Sagittarius season, which I know nothing about. But it's fascinating because she's talking about it being about expansion and abundance, hope, and yes, a touch of excess, which of course we can all have at this time of year, right? She says, I try to keep a sense of humor, for even in the darkest of times, it can help, even just a little. And at the same time, I know my heart is calling to make more space for grief so that gratitude can open up to a touch of grace. And I've been working with women around grief a lot this year. And I think we all have it. We're so impacted. It's a collective trauma that we've been impacted by the last 3 years. And it just doesn't seem to let up. So she says, I imagine us all hands and hearts open as we come to realize a big truth that no matter how we rehearse and act out on the illusion of separation, we're undeniably connected. I think all of us now have been impacted by inescapable heartbreak. How could we not be? We've continued to witness the roiling underbelly of our humanity. And so we're invited to do our part in the great changes that have been predicted since ancient times. Who will we become? I've gotten quiet, immersing myself in deep, respectful listening and praying. Lots of prayer, asking how to serve, how to be genuinely helpful. Good thing my higher power's office is open 24/7. I'm always pondering how I can contribute and what is needed for me. And sometimes I don't always know what that is, especially lately, but I do know what it's not. And I feel so much this way that I'm looking for ways that I can serve and help and what can I do next. So she says, I get my stance is not a popular one, but there has to be room for this safe house at the side of the road where we can regroup, recalibrate, renew our vows to our hearts, hold hands, maybe with gloves on if we're germaphobes, and allow for that deep existential grief so the spirit of grace can come and sit beside us. Like Piglet and Eeyore, looking at the stars in wonder and awe, even if there is sadness, it's both and. There is hope, still hope. So I think about you, and this is my thoughts for you as you get my emails or you're on social media with me. You're one of my clients who's VIP one-to-one, that you are taking time, that maybe you too might want to sit and look at the stars and remember that in spite of all the turmoil in this world, there is still an invitation to witness beauty, to feel the extraordinary transformative power of gratitude, and to know that a broken heart becomes more open heart if you let it in. The world is in a complex, sensitive place right now, and we need love, compassion, and empathy more than ever before. I have a gratitude list, but it also includes intentions and prayers for those who are less fortunate and who are suffering. And that underlines why humility is so important. What we've learned over the years is that gratitude isn't something that you hide and lock away in a special personal gratitude closet of goodness. No, gratitude comes with an action, and that action is kindness and compassion, energies that require us to be their channel out into the world. So it's especially crazy this time of year. But I want us to remember more and more what this is about. I'm so grateful for you and for your willingness to be vulnerable with me, because we've learned that the more we can express those deep, dark things within us, the easier it is for us to get grounded and to expand ourselves out into the world. So I want to dig into some tapping right now. I've been asking for people to give me what they're talking about, what they're feeling. And so this one particular message I just received is going to get us launched, because she's anxious, always feels alone, and there's things that come up like isolation. And so whether we're with a huge crowd and we have that angst of how we're going to behave around them, or how Uncle Harry's going to behave at the table, and there's so much discord and so much angst. And so I want to lean into that as well. There's just so much grief, because whether we're in it and a part of what's happening, or we're witnessing it, there's a lot. So let's touch base on any of those emotions. And when I send this out to you, if there's more that comes up, let me know, and we'll see how we can address it, okay? So take a nice breath. Whether you're watching or you just got your earbuds and you're listening, you can tap along with me, or just tap on one point. This is such a stressful time of year. It's been stressful for a long time. There's so much anxiety, so much loneliness. We were isolated for so long, and people are transitioning from this life to another, and we miss them, and we feel alone, and we feel hurt. I know in particular in my family, we've lost 3 people in the last couple of years. 2 in the year, I think, a little over a year maybe. And I just spoke with a woman who had lost her son, and there's just so much heartache, so much ache. So just tap on that. I have so much pain in my heart, and sometimes it's hard to breathe. I feel this loss, so much sadness, so much grief. And then there's this guilt that can linger, because I feel I could have done more. Maybe I could have prevented the eventual passing. And I get ashamed that I didn't do enough. I don't think I did enough. I don't know if I ever could do enough. And I just wish that there'd be more compassion and more love. And sometimes the grief and the expressions of sympathies and condolences, I wish those could have gone to the person I'm missing. That people could have expressed that to them in a bigger way. could have given them that love and that compassion and that understanding, that maybe they'd still be here. Maybe somehow more love could have kept them alive. And I'm just going to honor how I feel. I'm going to honor how lonely it gets. And I wish that I could be a part of a social circle that could honor me and honor those who have passed. I'm going to honor the heartache because, of course, it would be painful. And I honor the cracks in my heart that I know someday will let the light in. But right now, I'm just going to honor the sadness and the loss. Okay, just take a breath on that one. If you're one of the multitude of people who are suffering with that sadness and loss, grief and regret and guilt, keep tapping. Express whatever's on your mind and in your heart. You don't have to fix it, just honor it. And know that those waves will sometimes come in crashing down around you in that sadness, and other times it's just a little ripple coming through. I honor you. Okay, so let's shift our tapping to some of the frenetic energy that's happening. Like, oh my God, this is a lot. This is hard. I want things to go really well. I want it to be perfect. I want everybody to enjoy this day. There's so much to do. And yet it can be fun to see people, to see the family, to cook the meals, and hope everybody's happy. Hope everybody treats each other with compassion, and we can joke, but that we don't step on toes and we don't bring up opposite views of politics or religion or worldviews, anything about the climate. There's so much that we care about, and that we can sit down to a beautiful meal. Whether we get out the best china and the glasses and the silverware and light the candles, or we do what some of us love to do and we cook it out on the grill, we use paper plates, and we enjoy each other because it is about the people. So in this moment, some of you are alone and some of you just feel isolated. Please honor those feelings. Take a breath and repeat after me. Again, continue. I feel so isolated, and I wish I could be with family. I wish I could have my friends around. This is hard to feel in this spot, to want to be a part of it, and then not to not want to get in the car and drive that far in all that traffic, or to not go to the airport and be in that mess. I really want to just honor my solitude and my isolation and some of the frenetic energy that comes up if I am helping to serve people and friends and family. You see, it is a mixed bag. So I send all of my isolated feelings of aloneness and loss and so much grief, and I send them through me to pool at my feet, all the angst and all the sadness pours out at my feet and enters into the beautiful Mother Earth, to be absorbed and turned into love. And all those frenzied kind of thoughts I have around trying to be perfect and trying to have the best meal and trying to find the best gifts now. It's time to give gifts now. And I don't know, it's got to be equal for all those kids and grandkids. And oh my gosh, some of them celebrate Hanukkah and some of them are in, Ramadan and Christmas, and there's so much going on, and I don't know how to cope with all of that, really. I just want to be me. I just want peace. I just want joy. And I'm open to experiencing that. Open to accepting hope and possibilities for myself and for others and for our beautiful earth. Okay, so now place your hand on your heart. Bring in all the love of the universe into your heart right now. And put your other hand down just below your navel at your second chakra, where all your hopes and dreams and desires, your wants and your needs all sit. They're all mixed in with the negative emotions of frustration and anxiety and self-doubt and anger and worry and grief and sadness and loss. All there, mixed in. Just feel that. And feel how this is this bright, bright, on fire orange fuel in your second chakra that bursts up into your third for everything that you want to do. So know that we must express those negative things in order for that energy to move. So feel in there if there's anything there that feels yucky and say it out loud. And you can just tap on the collarbone while your hand is on your heart chakra. Just going to let go of it. Let go of the fear, the anger, the angst, the sadness, and the loss. Surrendering to that and letting some of that energy dissipate. Imagine it's just burning off in those beautiful flames of all your wants and needs and desires of happiness, fulfillment, exuberance and joy, peace and calm. And remember, you have this tool that you can use anytime, anywhere. I have often sat at tables underneath the table with my hands, tapping away, leaning into the conversation, and tapping to keep me grounded. You can do that. I used to do that in doctor's offices and actually in the ICU. Put my hands between my legs, my knees, and tap away. You can tap on your fingertips. Very, very easy to do. As you're walking, talking, you may know from reading my book or having sessions with me that I used to tap a lot at the kitchen sink, rinsing a little plate from my late husband, having a tiny bite of something, and then 10 minutes later wanting more because his dementia was off the chain at that time. So I would tap with one hand and rinse the plate with the other. So know that you can do this. Also know that I'm here. Please reach out. Send me a message or an email and let me know what's going on for you. And I can maybe design some more of these live calls for you. And otherwise, make sure that you've opted in on my website to be a part of my emails going out, because I'm going to announce different things as we end the year and get into a new one. I want to hear from you. So there's a free gift there, which is actually amazing tapping for stress and anxiety. There's a guide and a video so that you can learn that and use it whenever you need. There's also another opt-in for just getting the email. And of course, there's the book page, which talks about my book, The Woo Woo Way, Unblock Your Chakras, Transform Your Life. There's a lot of info there. There's even a sneak peek. Get the book. Lots of people are buying it as gifts this year because it's so good. You'll love the stories from my life and from clients. And let me know how you feel about that. If you get the book, please give me a review on Amazon. It's available in other places like even Walmart.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And it's an Audible too. So peace for you, and we'll talk again soon.